Hey, how you doing? My name's Daniel. This is the Real Infidel channel. Today I wanted to sit here and discuss with y'all the 5 ways that you lose your core temperature, your body heat, when you're exposed to the elements. The 5 methods that you lose body heat when you're exposed to the elements are radiation, evaporation, respiration, conduction, and convection. Radiation is when the colder air outside is exposed to your body and your body is attempting to warm that up to equal out the temperature gradient. Okay, and as your body tries to do that to warm the air, you're naturally going to lose body heat from that. Best ways to prevent radiation from the loss of body heat through radiation, is to use a layer system. Okay, what you want to do is you want to trap the air in between your body and your clothing. Like, there's air in this shirt. My body heat has warmed this air. All right, we want to keep that air in here so our body doesn't have to constantly try to keep warming up that air. And the best way to do that is by using a layer system. I'll go over my layer system at the end. The next one is evaporation. Everybody should know what evaporation is, but if you don't, it is when water turns from a liquid state to a gas state. As if you were to get wet, whether it be from rain, snow, falling in a creek, sweat, as the water evaporates away from your body, it's going to be pulling heat away from your body because your body has had to warm that water and then it's leaving. So it's going to be pulling heat away from your body. The best way to prevent evaporation is by, like I said, using a layered system. I like to use a wicking layer as my base layer. That way it pulls the water from the sweat off of my skin and into the clothing. Okay, and from there it'll go through the evaporation process. And another way is to avoid overheating. Okay, you don't want to be out sweating and sweat gets in your clothes and then it evaporates, and then your core temperature is drastically gonna drop if you're losing heat from evaporation due to sweating. All right, so use a layer system. Try to not overexert yourself and stay dry as best as you can. The next way you're going to lose heat is from respiration. All right, as you breathe in cold air, your airway has to warm that air. All right, and then you breathe that hot air back out. Well, when you breathe the cold air in, there's a temperature gradient. So the cold air comes in, your body warms it up. It leaches from your body to warm that air. Then you blow that air back out. Then you take another deep breath or good breath of cold air, and the process starts over again. So there's really no way to stop this. You have to breathe, obviously. So in extreme cold situations, I would say close to freezing or less than freezing, you can wrap a scarf around your face, your nose and mouth. That way, when you breathe out the warm air, the warm air still occupies the space of the air that you're getting ready to breathe back in. So your body doesn't have to warm that air up as much. There's still going to be a temperature gradient between the two. So you got to make sure you can prevent that or alleviate that in any way possible. The next one is conduction. Conduction is when you touch something that is colder than you or warmer, but for this purpose, we're going to talk about colder. When you touch something that's colder than you are, that cold surface is going to take heat from your body to try to level out the temperature gradient. So, things to think about is if you're stuck in hunting season coming up, it's already here in Virginia. It's already started bow season. So if you go out and you go hunting and you sit on a cold ground, that even with your insulation layers, it's still going to prolonged exposure to sitting on the ground is going to pull body heat away from you. Okay, or a cold metal tree stand. So a way to prevent that is to insulate yourself. Like I said, I'll go over my insulation method, but I use a wicking layer, like I talked about in the evaporation portion, and I use an insulated layer. All right, insulated layer is to trap my body heat into me, so I'm not having to warm up all the other air, and it also assists in conduction, right? So another thing you could think of is bringing a seat with you, or if you don't have one, you can make a browse seat by taking cedar limbs or pine limbs and sitting on those, so you're not just sitting on the cold ground. The best thing you can do is insulate the air in between you and the ground, so you're not having to reheat it and it's not constantly pulling cold air or cold body heat from you. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is convection. Convection is when any current moves past another current. If one current is warmer than the other current, or your body, as the air flows across your body, your body's going to naturally try to heat that air up. It's on, like I said, on the temperature gradient. They try to be equal. So cold air blows by you, your body tries to warm it up, and the cold air keeps going. So you're losing body heat that way. A way that you can prevent this is, step back one. It also works for water. If you get in water, as it flows by you, your body tries to warm it up. But most people that are out in the cold aren't going to be looking for a place to swim. So the best way to alleviate this is you use your 4-layer system. Now I'll go over that layer system in a little more detail. The wicking layer, the insulated layer, your durable outer layer, and then your elemental layer. To stop convention is really on your insulation layer and your elemental layer. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to trap that air close to your body by using loose layers, your loose layer system. You want to trap air, your body heat warms it up. As the cold air goes by, your elemental layer, your poncho, your wind gear, your rain gear, your snow gear, whatever it is, doesn't allow the convection to take air that is in your layered system and replace it with cold air. Okay, that's how you stop convection. Conduction and convections are truly the ones that you can really limit. I would argue evaporation is one that you can really limit as well if you know how to utilize the proper layer system, your wicking layer, insulated layer, durable layer, and elemental layer. Then you could, and you don't overexert yourself, you can really limit the body heat that you lose due to evaporation. But evaporation could come in and it start raining and you're not prepared for that, and you're all of a sudden you're wet as you start to dry out. That's evaporation. So just to recap, radiation, your body trying to heat up the air around it. Evaporation, as water dries, it pulls heat away from your body. Respiration, inhale cold air, blow out hot air, repeat, you lose body heat. Conduction, if you sit on something cold, it's going to take your body heat down. Convection, as air blows or water flows, it's going to take away your body heat. So prevent those, know those, and you'll be in good shape no matter what situation you find yourself in. Your metabolic needs are your metabolic needs, and your metabolic need to regulate its core temperature is one of the highest. It is the highest, minus like a metabolic need for air. If your core temperature drops, you're going to die. So know those, utilize the 4-layer technique, and know how to prevent loss of body heat. Thanks for your time. Always remember, kick sand in the face.